Hey guys, Matthew here, and today I want to bring you guys a video which is actually going to be quite simple. I just want to take you guys along the ride for one single map. I'll be showing you guys my investment, I'll be showing you guys the returns, I'll be showing you guys exactly how I juice my map, and this is basically going to be like the most end game map you could pretty much ever do. So I'm going to run you down the whole thing. Alright, so I get this question a lot. Is it actually worth to run fractured maps? Fractured fossils are nearly 2 Exalts. Is it actually worth it to put 2 Exalts in a map? Are you ever going to make that money back? Well, today I'm going to show you guys basically that yes, you are in fact going to make that money back. So, what you would do is you would take a base. Now I have a video about how to make a base on these maps, but you would fracture it with a fractured fossil. You would end up with a map like this. So let's go ahead and run the numbers on how expensive this is. So this is 1.6 Exalts right now. It seems like Exalts are about 92 chaos. So let's go ahead and do 92 times 1.6. Let's add in the price of a bloodstained fossil, which is about 30 C, and a 2-socket resonator looks to be about a chaos. Next, we are going to use a polished harbinger scarab at 3 chaos, a breach at 2 chaos, 5 chaos, so it's 10 and 1. So another 11 chaos there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put these back in here. So the total cost of running our map right now is going to be 189.2 chaos. This is the amount of money we need to make back to actually turn a profit. If we make less than this, we've technically lost money. If we make more than this, this is pure profit, okay? So we used a fractured fossil, but notably it actually used a bloodstained fossil. Now you might be wondering why we did that. The bloodstained fossil gives us this mod here, which has found items of 10% chance to be corrupted in areas. Essentially what that means is a lot of these items are actually going to be corrupted and therefore are going to give us some 6 links. 6 links are good because they actually translate to divine orbs, right? So that's why we're going to be doing that. That being said, with the price of the bloodstain being at 30 chaos and the price of divines being at 7 chaos, we need a lot of 6 links to make that money back. So it's actually starting to be questionable whether that's worth it or not, especially because 6 link take a large portion of your inventory space, which can be annoying. Alright, next, let me talk about how I set up my atlas. Now, this is from Farming Master Mission, so you don't really have to worry about the fact that, there's some influence there. It really shouldn't be the case, but whatever. I'm farming Valdo's Rest. Valdo's Rest has Diplomatic Escort, which gives you like 10 free Harbingers or something. It's absolutely insane. And it also gives you an extra free Harbinger with Ominous Arrival, so you don't even have to use Harbinger Scarabs. I'm still going to use one because they're a pretty good way to add monsters to your map. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole idea here. Next, I have a good bit of Atlas Completion, 162, which give me 27% effective modifiers on non-unique maps. Now, effective modifiers means that the effects on this map here, the things like found quantities, the less area of effect, the monster attack and cast speed, those are all getting multiplied. Now, that sounds like it might be a bad thing, but that means that it also multiplies the item quantity, the pack size, the rarity, etc. So I'm going to get a lot more loot by having this as high as possible. 27% is the maximum. Now, in my Uncharted Realms, I'm using an extra 25% of Watchstone modifiers, which I'll talk about in a second. And Awakener level 9, I don't have anything else unlocked, but either way, that's pretty much what I'm going for. To be honest, I'm not really a fan of farming Cyrus, so this could easily be changed to something like Paths Not Taken to increase Xana missions or close allies. I don't think it really matters. I think the only thing that matters here is mostly just the Secrets of Stones. Okay, next. My Watchstones that I'm using is basically all going to be Maven Watchstones. I have elevated mods on pretty much every single one of these. So elevated mods comes from elevated sextants. Those are right now anywhere between 2 for an Exalt or so. So it's a pretty decent chunk of investment that you're going to need to put to actually get all of the mods that you want. But let me explain why it's so insane. Well, this is a non-elevated mod because the elevated mod is actually the same. It gives no bonus. It's still just 1 legion. That being said, elevated breach, unlike the higher tier breach, is 3 breaches instead of 2. That is a lot of extra monsters on my map, and once I go inside the map, I'll tell you guys why that's important. Next, I have elevated Beyond. It's basically 2% more beyond chance, which, I mean, technically it's not the biggest deal in the world, but any 1% extra beyond is going to be good. Next, I have Nemesis drop 4 additional currency instead of 3, and that right there is basically 25% more, or 33% more currency basically than 3, right? So it's a lot, and it adds up very quickly. Lots of Exalt drops. Now, we might run a map and get 4 Exalts, and we might run a map and get 0 Exalts. But on average, every single map drops an Exalt. Almost every single map will drop 1 Exalt at least. It's very rare that I do a map that I don't get an Exalt at all. Yesterday, we only did like 5 maps during the whole stream, and 2 of those maps dropped 4 Exalts, 2 of those maps dropped 3 Exalts, and 1 of them dropped nothing. So, you know, averages. Alright, in terms of my Watchstone modifiers, I'm using 1 Watchstone which says Harbingers in area drop rare currency shards. This does not stack, or at least it seems to not stack. That's what I've been told. Which means there's no reason to run multiple of those. The idea here is that maybe we get lucky and eventually we drop a mirror shard. It will drop additional Exalt shards. It will drop additional Ancient shards, but it's not that big of a deal. I have a T1 alterations drop as full stacks, which means instead of dropping 1 alteration, there's a 0.6% chance that it drops 20 alterations. The amount of alterations that drop in these maps is quite a lot. Therefore, that's actually a pretty good mod because the price of alterations is through the roof, and it's probably going to stay that way. Next, I actually got pretty lucky here. I just rolled a T1 quantity modifier, which is basically 6% more quant, and I figured that's pretty good. Let's keep it. And the same thing kind of happened here, but instead of rolling a T1 quantity, I rolled a T1 more rare monsters. 5% more rare monsters is quite a lot when we are, you know, taking in consideration Beyond and Harbingers and, you know, Breaches and all that good stuff. It's a lot. So that's pretty much what goes into my map pre-map. This is what my investment looks like. Polished Harby, Polished Breach, Polished Legion, Polished Ambush, and my map. Now, how I'm going to go ahead and run this map is I will go ahead and put Beyond on it. That's going to be mandatory, and Alva. If I ever run out of Alvas, I have a video telling you guys how to spawn a bunch of master missions very quickly. Now, basically, we are just going to stack the more chance of getting Alvas, and then we are just going to run some maps that have very small layouts, like Park or Mesa, stuff like that. And then we can get a lot of master missions of our choice very, very quickly. Like, we're talking enough for your whole week of farming within an hour or 2. All right, next thing I'm going to do it when I actually join in the map is I'm going to go under UI and I'm going to change my filter to blank. Now, blank filter is basically an empty filter that will only show items that are pretty damn expensive, like 10 plus chaos and stuff. The idea here is that I want to still see some items in case my map crashes or in case I just, you know, server has an issue and my map gets deleted, because this does happen. I want to pick up the most valuable things. Why not? But after that, I'm going to go ahead and change my filter back down to juicing, where this is going to be the actual filter. Now, if you don't want to sit through me actually running that map, you can basically just skip to the end of the video. But since I wanted to actually do a complete rundown on how I run my map, what my investments are, you know, what the returns are going to be, I'm just going to run the map on, you know, on screen, and you guys can see what that looks like. So I'm playing a self-cursor. Oh, wow, I'm probably dead here. Oh, we got a boss at the very start of the map. That's so unlucky. Okay, well, that's going to be rough. We definitely don't want to be dying too many times here. We can afford to die once, maybe twice, but that's really it. If we die more than that, we are actually going to run into some pretty serious issues when it comes to the looting part of the map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to literally just run away, dude. I'm going to try to run away. What I need to do is get some stacks. Once I have some stacks, I'll be able to murder that guy. But this build is literally all about headhunters. Headhunter stacks. Okay, there we go. I got stacks. Now that we have stacks, we can basically just one-shot everything in the game. You'll see that, oh, wait, did I open a breach somewhere?
I need more mana.
Wait, what's going on? Did I open a breach somewhere? Okay, I'm not exactly sure why. Okay, well, maybe I just wasted a breach at some point. I'm not sure what happened there. But you'll see, yeah, I have some Harbinger stacks, some Harbinger Gilded Scarabs. It's going to show me big stacks of simulacrum splinters. It's going to show me 6 links, exalt drops. It's going to show me the bigger stuff, essentially, because that's what I want to see in case I have a crash or something. Then at least I can make some of that money back, especially maybe even, maybe even potentially all my money back, even if my map was to crash. And that is a nice little safe net. But at the same time, it's a filter that hides almost every single thing, because then I don't get to, you know, have issues with looting, because yes, these maps can become extremely filled up with loot, as you will see later on when I swap the filter. It can become absolutely insane. But as I was saying earlier, I'm currently playing a self-curse build. Now, a self-curse build, basically what it does is that it curses itself with temp chains, meaning its action speed goes down. Action speed goes down, sorry. Now, action speed basically will dictate the move speed, attack speed, cast speed, basically everything related to speed on your character. Not just your move speed or your attack speed, literally everything. So, this build is actually going to slow us down. We are going to counter that by using Comb's Roots, so that we can never be, you know, slowed more than the base move speed on our character. Because otherwise, we would literally be walking around at a snail pace, because we have so much curse effectiveness. We have, well, essentially we have 4 times the curse effectiveness on our character, which means that in reality, right? In reality, we're not self-cursing ourselves with a single temp chains. We're technically, it's the equivalent of self-cursing ourselves with like 4 different temp chains that all stack on top of each other. What that allows us to do, though, is our headhunter buffs are literally going to last 80 seconds instead of the usual 20 seconds. So 80 seconds worth of headhunter buffs. You'll see at this point I have like 60 plus headhunter stacks. But once we hit the big Harbinger pack that I was talking about at the start of the video, this is going to shoot up to literally like hundreds, like 200 to 300 headhunter stacks. And it's going to last us pretty much the entire map. So it's pretty nasty. Let's just put it that way. Self-cursing is pretty insane. So much as I go insane when I listen to Alva saying just in time every 3.5 millisecond, not seconds, every 3.5 milliseconds for literally hours. But that's okay. What we do for currency, right? So let's go ahead and finish up this map. I mean, these maps are long. Like, don't get me wrong. These maps are long to actually run. These maps take on average about 20 minutes per map. Now, depending on how many things are on your filter, you can actually reduce that significantly, but you could also increase that. It really does depend on your filter, because most of the time is actually not going to be spent, you know, clearing the map. It's going to be spent looting the map. So one thing that I'm sure you guys are probably wondering is why scarabs?
I need more mana.
Everybody's doing breach stones. Why not breach stones? Well, to be honest, I don't know if breach stones are better than the scarabs, or if scarabs are better than breach stones, or if you know, fine orbs, which is currency, are better. No, I know that those are not better for sure.
When I'm ready,
but
and not before.
You know, I don't know which is better. Quite frankly, I haven't really done some extensive testing, so I don't really know. But what I do know, though, and what I do know for a fact, is that I don't like to buy scarabs. I hate it. So if I run scarab maps, I never have to buy scarabs. I can pretty much self-sustain every single scarab that I need. So I don't have to worry about ever buying anything, and that is a really big advantage in my opinion, and the reason why I do scarabs and not, for example, you know, another orb which might actually end up being better in terms of currency per hour. So yeah, that's why I went with scarabs. Okay, so the map is almost over. Probably a little bit of stuff left. Let's go ahead and jump into the big Harbinger pack, which is probably at the very end of our map. No, this isn't the big Harbinger pack. Where's the big Harbinger pack? Oh, it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it is the big Harbinger pack. Okay. So yeah, this is pretty much what makes this map like an absolute crazy, you know, option when it comes to 100% Delirious. As you saw, that Harbinger pack has a ridiculous amount of monsters that actually spawns from it when paired with Beyond. Now, okay, I know that this is maybe not, you know, the gameplay for everybody. Now, this is the true endgame of Path of Exile, and I think self-cursing is the build that actually represented the best when your character is literally bigger than twice your screen, when you literally just, you'll see when I change to the loot, when there is, you know, thousands of items to actually pick up in a given map. This is the end game. This is it. This is what you work towards. You know, this is what you buy a headhunter for. This is the end game when it comes to mapping. Now, there are different end games in Path of Exile, different end games when it comes to things like, for example, boss killing. There's also different end games when it comes to things like crafting. There's different end games in the game, but when it comes to full-on 100% delirious juice, this is pretty much as juicy as it gets. You'll see, I mean, by the length of the video as well, is like, there's a lot that goes into here. You know, there's a lot of time spent killing these monsters, but also looting this map. And oh god, if you're not ready for it, when I change this filter back to a regular filter that I'm going to be using to actually loot the map, you are in for a treat. Okay, let's go ahead and finish up the map. We're almost done. We've got two albas left to go, and some random breach, some random not breach, sorry, some random what are they called again? Oh yeah, League mechanics, Legion monsters to kill, breach stuff to kill, whatever. We're just gonna try to kill as many monsters as we can, because the idea here is that we really don't want to be leaving anything behind. Because remember what happened at the start of the map when I just walked in and died? Well, we don't want that to be happening when we're looting, because if we just die, we're not going to be able to get all the loot out of the map, right? There's so much loot that we're not going to be able to get all of it out of the map if we just die too many times. So we definitely don't want that to be happening. Alright, so looks like that was our first Exalt drops, maybe. Oh, no, that's actually a cost breeze. Well, we just got baited. That's very unlucky. Not an Exalt this time around. It happens. We still have a little bit of a chance to drop an Exalt, but who knows if it'll happen or not. Decent bit of monsters actually left in this map right now. Jesus. Just in time. Quite a lot of stuff left to kill. So we want this monster remaining here to be as low as possible. Literally as low as possible. We don't want this map to have any more than just a few monsters left, because if there's more than that, we are going to be in trouble when it comes to looting. Okay. Let's go ahead and finish up our last Alva. And that's going to be it for the actual killing part of the video. I think we're going to be ready to actually go in and loot. Okay. Alright. Almost done. 19 monsters left. We probably want to kill a little bit more and find those monsters, because, again, it's going to get dangerous if we don't. Like, it's really going to get dangerous. So let me see if I can just maybe find them real quick. Nope. Well, we're just going to have to hope for the best. Alright. Hopefully you guys are ready. This is the big kicker. We are going to change back to the juicing filter, and you're going to get to see how many items are actually on this map. Now, to be fair, I could actually remove a lot of this from my filter. I could remove single alterations. I could remove simulacrum splinters. I could remove, you know, some of the lower tier scarabs. Right now, my scarabs that are showing are at least 2 chaos each in bulk. But it's showing fusings, it's showing chisels. Like, there's a lot of this stuff that I could actually remove if I was trying to really, you know, min-maxed every step of the way in how much currency I'm making. Because at this point, there's so many things to loot that it's at the point where, you know, maybe it would actually be worth it to just not loot this stuff. All right, so let's see, this is worth 20C or whatever, so it's actually kind of worth picking it up. You know, maybe a good roll could be worth even more, so we're definitely going to grab it. Why not? And you'll probably hear a bunch of clicking for the next few minutes. So like I said again, if you want to not deal with this, you could easily just skip to the last couple minutes of the video where I'll actually showcase the results. But a lot of people have been asking me, yo, show us what this looks like. Show us what a map looks like. Clear map, you know? So I decided to actually do it. All right. Let's go ahead and vendor. Greetings. This is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to vendor the 6 links. Also this pacifism, because I definitely need to pick this up. And then I've made a tab that is going to be exclusively for the loot in this one map. And this tab here basically does not have, like, what I'm trying to say, sorry, is that I've disabled all of my, my affinity tabs. So every single item that I pick up and that I drop in a tab is going to drop into that specific tab. All right. So we didn't drop an Exalt. So because the fact we didn't drop an Exalt that map, you might be thinking, oh my God, he's going to lose money. Well, maybe we'll lose money. We're going to have to wait until we see the result at the very end to see whether we end up losing money or making money. So we're going to be here for a while. I mean, you know, if you don't have any music or whatever, you'd probably turn some on. I wish I had some, but unfortunately with YouTube, I can't do that. So I'm going to try to just ramble for the next few minutes and, yeah, probably talk about things regarding 100% delirious mapping and what I think is basically the best way to reach this point, because I think that's going to be a main focus for a lot of people. They'll see this and they'll be like, oh my God, there's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of items on the ground. There's so much currency. This is crazy. How do I reach this point? Okay. So I think that currently right now, if you're looking for a low investment cost, low investment build that can do a lot in the game, you're going to probably end up with cast on crit, and you're going to get carried by inspired learnings. Alternatively, you could actually make a self-cursor build just like I'm using, but a very budget one. And what you could use instead of a bow is void batteries. You probably wouldn't convert 100% of your damage, but you wouldn't need a headhunter, because at that point what you would actually run would be you would run the New Vastir region. With the New Vastir region, with just a few inspired learning stacks, you could actually be able to do the emblem farming strategy, which was spoken about by Grimro in one of his videos. I'll be linking that in the description of this video as well, his strategy when it comes to that. But it's a pretty good way to start making currency. I really don't think it's an endgame strategy. I don't think you're going to make anywhere near doing something like that than you would doing something like this. But still noteworthy to mention that you could easily do that. Also, no, this build is not hardcore, viable. I died at the start of the league. Or sorry, I died at the start of the map, and I die not quite every map, but I die a lot. I mean, the thing is, without the headhunter stacks, you're basically just a piece of paper. This build is literally a headhunter on its feet, and a lot of people have been asking me to make a guide on it, but my boy Q-Dog actually made a guide on self-cursor himself yesterday, I believe, or the day before. So what I'll do is, for anybody interested in this build and how it works and the mechanics and, you know, how to build it, maybe on a budget, etc., I will link Q-Dog's video in the description as well. So you will have all of the necessary information and resources to make this build if you decide to. So I'm actually not going to prioritize picking up like things like humility cards. I mean, a tabula is like 7 chaos right now, so that card is not even worth the chaos. I could keep it, but the thing is, there are some things that I think are going to be much more valuable to pick up. So I'm going to put priority on those things first. Maybe eventually we'll come back and pick it up, but chances are we won't, because what I do with my maps for looting is I start at the very end of the map, and then I work my way backwards. Work my way backwards. Okay. So for anybody wondering how I'm actually looting this map right now, I'm just using the icons on the map to tell me what to loot, instead of actually having the map like this. Now, the advantage of that is, if ever you do something like this, right, and you get to a point where there's so much loot on the ground, which is not really the case here, but sometimes there's going to be so much loot on the ground that the items, even though they look to be really close to you, right, they're actually really, really far away. And what happens then is that you press the item thinking that you're going to walk like 1 feet away, and you're just going to pick it up, but then your character literally just goes off to Africa. And we don't want that happening. So what I do is I like to just use the beams as a way of looting my map. Now, anything on my filter will show up as a beam anyways. So like, I'm not losing anything, I guess is what I'm trying to say, right? Like, I'm literally not losing anything. You'll see that no matter if I turn it on or off, all of the things are going to be looted. Okay, so it looks like we have some monsters here. What? That was way too fast. Now, fortunately for me, I was probably about to be full when it comes to loot. So the fact that I just died there doesn't matter too much to me. But that was impressively, that was a really fast volatile. Maybe somebody in the comment section can tell me why that volatile was so fast, because I have no idea. I have no idea why that volatile was so fast. That's crazy. Well, let's get back in, loot some more. We're almost done at this point, so that's good. Almost done looting, and then we're going to have a look at whether we made profit or not. You know, did we actually make profit? Did we lose money? Did we make big money? Who knows? Who knows? We're going to find out. We are going to find out. I mean, I can spoiler alert you right now and tell you that there's pretty much 0% chance that I lost money. All right, so looks like there's like some onslaught or something going on here. These guys are way too fast. All right, so 18 monsters left. So they weren't towards the end of the map. So my guess is that we're probably going to be running into them soon. My mouse clicks could definitely be accurate, more accurate. That would save us some time. But I'm a little pepega. I just woke up, so you know, my mouse clicks are definitely not the best they've ever been. But oh my god, okay, so I found the monsters, and they don't look like they're messing around. We definitely will have to be careful now, because we are running our portals down real low. Only 2 portals left. The experience of a self-curse build without Hennitor stacks. Yes, that's pretty much what that looks like. If you don't have Hennitor stacks, you are kind of just at the mercy of everything. So I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to go kill those guys, or at least try to. Because otherwise we might run into some issues. So let's go ahead and find maybe some potential stacks here. No stacks. Oh, this is going to become scary if we can't find anything to give us some stacks. Alright, so I guess what I'll do, since I'm actually kind of terrified to go over there again, is I will loot all of the stuff over here, and then we're going to test our luck and see if we can go kill the dudes over there. But, man, they are scary boys. They're a scary bunch. They're very scary. And we have only 2 portals left. So this is why I'm definitely going to prioritize looting right now over doing anything related to those guys. Because if I was to die right now, I would literally only have 1 portal left. And I'm pretty sure with 1 single portal, I wouldn't be able to literally take everything outside of the map. So we don't want that to happen. So we're definitely going to prioritize looting all of this. And then we're going to make our way back. For anybody interested, I will have my filter in the description. It's basically only showing fossil or scarabs that are like 2 to 3 chaos plus per. So every scarab that you saw right now is at least basically 2C. Oh, I just got killed by a bunch of blue monsters. Oh no, this is like actually the most pepega map I've done in a while. I'm not gonna lie, boys. This is getting down to the wire here. Okay, okay. Let's see. What can we do? What can we do? Let's go ahead and put on a move speed flask, because that's probably going to help us a little bit. Woo! Scary. I don't want to fail this map. Well, I mean, we've already looted most of it, but there's still some juice. There's probably still a decent chunk of loot on the ground. We definitely don't want to be losing all this. Okay.
When I'm ready and not
Let's start over here and work our way back. Damn, I wish I would have actually cleared that a little bit better now. I should have put an extra minute just running around when I was the size of my screen. But I didn't, so now I'm paying the price. Definitely not something you want to do. Okay. So, let's go ahead and get some buffs going. We're gonna run around in circles. Okay, they're dead. But woo! Oh no, dude! It's the guys from earlier. Oh no! Get away from me, dude! That actually scared me so much. All right, boys, we did it. I think we're good to loot now. 10 monsters remain. That's not good. No, I'm scared. I'm still scared. I'm still very scared. Oh. Okay. Almost done looting. That's good. Man, this map is high octane looting right now. I have to say, this is the. Whew, that was a little bit sketchy. Oh my god. Most of my maps don't go like that. I'll be honest with you guys. Most of my maps don't actually end up being this sketchy. Also, I should probably look at my rewards. Maybe there's something insane here. No, the Jeweler's Touch, not exactly insane. I guess we'll take the 2 Chaos. We'll just skip that. Alright, we'll, Bloodbound. That doesn't seem like it's great either. I guess we'll just take the Breed Scarab. Yeah, probably just grab some of that. Call it a day. Okay, so definitely would recommend trying not to forget about your League Mechanic rewards, because, I mean, they're not great, but who knows, maybe someday you get a Headhunter, maybe someday you get a mirror or something. Alright, so we are done looting, despite the fact that we died like 5 times. we're done looting, so that's good. And this is the part of the video where I can show you guys the results. So, did we make money? Did we lose money? What just happened? Let's have a look. So what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to need to change zone. I'm actually going to need to change zone, because if I don't change zone, then it's not going to like show me the... It's not going to update on the Excellence Next, which Excellence Next will also be linked in the description of the video for anybody who's curious about how that works. All right. So, let's go ahead and pull up Excellence. We are going to refresh the snapshot, and here we go. Let's see how much money we made. So, we didn't drop an Exalt that map. Remember, like I said, we did not get an Exalt drop, which is a bit unlucky, but that's okay. It happens. It's one of those maps where it just didn't happen. So, we dropped 60 Pure Chaos. We dropped 11 Rusted. A lot of alterations, 150 alterations, 150, so half a Simulacrums. Decent amount of like gilded stuff, gilded scarabs. Some of them are cheap, some of them are expensive. You know, it's going to be a mix and match of a lot of things. Now, if we go to the end though, just to make sure there's no like fake pricing in here, because we definitely don't want that to be happening. So I'm just going to have a quick look, but yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any sort of fake prices or anything like that. At least as I can tell, yeah, these are just regular maps. It's counted all the, the 1 Exalt chart that we got. We dropped 3 6 links, so not very many 6 links that map either. I have to say this was a very unlucky map in terms of both Exalt drops and 6 link drops, but that's okay. It's actually good that it was an unlucky map, because I get to show you guys a minimal result. So this was our initial investment. This is our end, result. So we're going to have to remove 582C. So this is our pure profit, 392 chaos, which translates to divided by 95, 90. It looks like Exalts might be going down a little bit, but let's just say 95. I think I said 92 earlier, so I'm still going to keep 92. That would be a profit of 4.3 Exalts in one map, despite the fact that we had to invest 2 Exalts or close to 2 Exalts in investment, despite the fact we didn't drop an Exalt, despite the fact we didn't drop a lot of 6 links, we didn't drop any crazy unique. I mean, we got a Cost Breeze, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, still, look at the profit. Over 4 Exalt profit in one map. So, this is the endgame of Path of Exile. This is how you get to farm literally mirrors and mirrors and mirrors by playing the game a lot. Obviously, you're not going to farm a mirror with no investment in like 2 hours, but this is basically what the end game looks like. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Before I go, as always, I'll go ahead and say a huge thank you to my supporters: Johnny, Michael, Cluzy, Zarashi, Lero, Gaikona, Stefan, Kroon, Michael, JW Player, Scott, Richard, Justin, Alex, Ollie, Matt, Kevin, Marcus, Matthias, Hayden, Bitizen, Axel, and Acid. Thank you guys all so very much. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.